reading has been one of the things that has helped me be in my feminine energy. Not only did I discover the art of reading, the beauty of reading last year, but this year I was like, I am going to take this seriously because it helps me tap into my creativity, my imagination. And I'm not only talking about nonfiction books, I'm also talking about fiction books. The benefit of reading nonfiction books is obviously you get to elevate your consciousness. You get to develop your mindset and develop how you see the world. You get to literally download people's perspectives and download what they went through and learn the lessons. Guys, there's people that have been through stuff for years, and you get to read a book, and in a week, a month, whatever, even 2 months, you get to learn exactly the things that helped them, the things that moved them forward, and the things that they would have done differently. And you could do the exact same thing. And self development is a key point of feminine energy and self-love. I mean, reading, developing your brain is a self-love practice, but the beauty of fiction that I recently got into last year is that it brings you into your imaginative, creative space. But not only that, it is a great way to reset. Being in your masculine energy, this is how you procrastinate in your masculine energy. You scroll online, you binge watch, right? Because it's about doing, 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 and you never really get to really help yourself internally. The difference between masculine and feminine, right, when it comes to what they do, is that feminine is really about the feeling state. It's really about the being, who they are, and the masculine is about action taking. It's about the outward stuff, right? So in this video today, I'm gonna go over the 8 books that I have read so far this year in 2025, and it's been an amazing year, and I'm so freaking excited. So the first things first is Building a Second Brain by Tiago Forte. Now, I'm just going to let you know right now, I've read one nonfiction book and the rest in this list is going to be fiction, okay? I'm working on other nonfiction books, but first things first is Building a Second Brain by Tiago Forte. And it is actually the first book that I completed this year, and that book is amazing. I created a whole video on it so you guys can watch it right here or here and click on that video. I created a summary of the main lesson that I learned from that freaking book, and it helped me so much as a creator in how to compartmentalize. Is that I'm saying it wrong, but basically take the ideas I have in my head and make them organized so that I can become a better creator. So if you're a creator or you work in a realm, which a lot of people do, in the realm of information where you have to manage a lot of emails and manage a lot of information, this is the book for you. Okay, it is an amazing book. I gave it a 4 stars, and I am looking forward to reading it again because it has a lot of information on how to just turn things you have inside of your brain and basically turn it into actionable things that you can use in your life. Because people say that information is good and knowledge is power, but applied knowledge is power. Information without execution is useless. And that's why this book was so eye-opening to me, because it made me look at the way that I look at information way different and how to handle information way different. So I highly recommend that you read that book. It was fan freaking tastico. And I'm looking forward to reading more books on the realms of business and organization, because a better you gets to your goals faster. A more organized you, a more disciplined you, a more high energy you, vibrant you gets to your goals faster. And that's why I love reading self-development books, because it helps you with exactly that. Now, the second book that I read is actually a series. So I've actually read Ellen Hilderbrand before, but I decided to crack into a book of hers again. I read 28 Summers. That's the first book I read of hers. And then I decided, okay, my friend actually gave me a recommendation. She put it on her TikTok. She was like, I read Winter in Paradise and it was so good. And I was like, oh my gosh, I've read Ellen Hildebrand before. Let me crack into her again. And this series did not disappoint. It was literally like a telenovela, and it was set in place in, I think, St. Bart's. And St. Bart's is in the US Virgin Islands. So it's just a really amazing book. It basically starts with a woman, and she is basically at home in the Midwest and in the countryside, and she has a really busy husband and all that stuff, and she finds the news that and the husband and the mistress got in a helicopter accident in St. Bart's, and she didn't even know that he lived in St. Bart's, like all of this stuff. So they're uncovering that mystery of what's really happening. I've never read a mystery book, so this year I really want to experiment. I think as a beginner, I always tell this with my content creators inside of my group. By the way, I have a YouTube accountability and growth group also to build your brand, and in there I just help women stay accountable but also grow their YouTube channel and brands. And the big thing that I give to people is that in the beginning of your journey, you should always be experimenting. That's what I want to do. I am right now like reading my first thriller. I've never read a thriller because I'm kind of a scaredy cat when it comes to scary stuff. So I don't want to mess it up here, right? But I'm reading The Perfect Marriage, and I've been going through that thing so fast, and it's just so cool that when you experiment with stuff, you open a whole new world and realm of possibility for yourself. So I've been really enjoying it, and in this case, I experimented with mystery, and I really love it, and I'm looking forward to looking and reading more mystery books. But Ellen Hildebrand, that girl can write. Oh my goodness. I read all three books. I think this is a benefit for me. I'm on Book Talk and BookTube a lot, and a lot of people have struggle with going through series and going through like sequels. For me, I love doing it consecutively. I love doing it consecutively. So I read all three books back to back, and I just finished that whole series in basically January. It's basically a trilogy. It's Winter in Paradise, What Happens in Paradise, and Troubles in Paradise. And it just goes along the lines of that storyline. And you would think that that's such a simple thing that can be all in one book, but no. She wrote it so beautifully. Every single book was top tier. I think I gave all of them a 4 stars. Not a 4 stars, a 5 stars. This whole series was a 5-star series to me. I think it was so interesting. I think the writing was so good. The scenery set in place, like all of it made sense, and all of it was also not predictable. Like I didn't know that that is what we were going to uncover. I didn't know that that chapter was going to uncover that. Like it really left me on my toes, and I was not expecting a lot of the twists and turns. And like I said, I read those next 3 books. So those are 4 books already: Building a Second Brain, and then the trilogy series with Ellen Hildebrand, which starts with Winter in Paradise. And then the next book I read, which was my 5th book, is Divine Rivals. Now, this year I said that I would dip my toe in fantasy, and I've heard many great things about Divine Rivals, and oh my goodness, that book was so good. That book was so good. Like, I just love the storyline, but I love looking into different worlds. It really, like I said, it makes you tap into your imaginative, creative energy. And I feel like it did that a lot, made me see a whole new world and tap into it not only in the book, but within my own life. Like, how can I be more imaginative in my visualizations and stuff like that? But, anyways, Divine Rivals was amazing. It was basically about 2 people. I don't even want to spoil it to you. Just go ahead and read the freaking summary by yourself and it will explain it better than me. What I loved about this story is that it it highlighted 2 people that were, first of all, they were enemies. They were like nemesis at work, but then they became lovers. Not only that, but they went through so much stuff together. They went through so much stuff together throughout the plot line. So much stuff. And I think you can really see the strength and the test of a relationship through adversity. I think relationships that are just rainbows and sunshines all the time, I don't think there's anything deep there. But when you guys go through stuff and you go through it together, it really provides depth in the relationship. And I could just feel that this relationship was like they just were so attached to each other, and they were so deep within each other because they went through so much. And I don't know, I just loved that aspect of it. And I love the fight and the loyalty to work for something that you really, really do love and care for. And I think you can find a lot of lessons about life within fiction reading and fiction books, because it just really like reminds me that, hey, even through the bad times, when it comes to any relationship, it's about fighting for the things that you really love and are really important to you. And that's exactly what I got from the book. The second, again, I'm really good at reading things consecutively. And the next book I read after that was Ruthless Vows. Ruthless Vows was just, because this book is a duology, it's a fantasy duology from my understanding. By the way, I gave Divine Rivals 4.5, and for Ruthless Vows, I gave it 4.0, and that was really good. I think it was a really good ending, and I loved it. I loved it. I think it was a good ending, but I think it came a little bit, it was a little bit slower than the first one. It wasn't as fast paced, and that's why I gave it a 4.0. I think because it's just like kind of ending the story a little bit, so it wasn't that like packed with action, but nevertheless, it was really good. And I really, really loved reading how the story ended and how it did end with the whole world and inside the fantasy, because fantasy is not real, right? Obviously, it's this new world. So I loved seeing what happened with everything, and it was still, they were going through difficulty and they were going through triumph, but at the end, it was amazing. Let's just say it was amazing. Okay. So the next book that I read is Done and Dusted. Guys, I've never read a cowboy romance. I've never read that before. I read a small town romance, but not a cowboy romance. This was like the first one I've ever done. And I see the appeal now from the girls. So I read Done and Dusted by Lyla Sage, and that book was really good. That book was really good. I really loved it. I think it was so cute, and I love Rebel Blue Ranch. Like, so Rebel Blue Ranch is basically a ranch that this family owns, and you gotta read it. You just gotta read it. You just gotta read it. Okay. The Done and Dusted. It is basically a forbidden romance because the guy that the girl falls in love with is actually her brother's friend. So it's a little bit of that, and I think the book was good. I gave it a 4.0. I think it was good. It was not a 5 star. It was nothing like jaw dropping and earth shattering, but it was really cute. It was really fast. It was really entertaining and engaging, and I think that it was a just a cute love story, right? So it was really easy to run through. And the next book that I read is Swift and Saddle. As you can see, I love just when I get into a series, I get into a series. I had a whole list in the beginning of the year. This is what I'm gonna read. This is what I'm gonna read. But I'm just going through series like it's nothing. Anyways, Swift and Saddled is what I'm reading, is the next book I read. And that's the second book inside of the Blue Ranch. The Blue Ranch? Not the Blue Ranch. Rebel Blue Ranch. The Rebel Blue Ranch series. And that book was really good. I gave it a 3.75. I don't think it was as good as the first one, but I haven't read the third one, which I'm forgetting the name. What it is it Done and Dusted? No, that's the first one. Swift and Saddled, and then it's I don't know what it is. I don't know what the third one is. I forgot the name, but it's one of those cool names there, and I'm very excited for that one because that one's gonna be like enemies to lovers, and I feel like throughout those first two books, the people that are gonna be in the third book, they had so much banter and so much hate within each other. It's like, dang, like how are you guys gonna fall in love? That's absolutely insane. But I love reading, and I'm so glad that I found reading and I got back to it. It's so much of a better thing to do rather than scrolling on your phone. And like I said, freaking scrolling on your phone, it provides you a fake sense of basically dopamine, right? It gives you so much concentrated dopamine hit that you don't want to do anything else. A book definitely gives you not as much of a dopamine hit as a scrolling on your phone, so it's very easy to get back into my task. That's what I tend to notice. So if you guys are looking to really get into reading and really grow in this year your knowledge, but also in the imaginative creative sense, then make sure to watch this video. I'm going to put it up here. I don't know where it goes, but make sure to click that video because I literally in that video break down how to get reading obsessed. Guys, I went from a person that literally read 0 books to, I think last year, how many books did I read? I think I read like 18 books or something. I forgot how many books I read, but I read about like 18 books. Guys, from 0 to 18, that is crazy. And this year, I'm going to read even more because I'm being super intentional with it. And it's been helping me so much with my productivity and creativity. So, guys, this is your sign to freaking read. And I put my fable, this link in the description below. That's where I read all of my finished books, and that's what you can see what I'm reading right now and all that good stuff. So a whole part of it is having a community. So if you're looking to grow in your reading, I would love to read with you. I have a whole accountability community that's not only for creators, but also for creating your life. And as part of your life, you want to really develop as a person, then developing yourself is part of it. Developing your habits is part of it. That's exactly why I created Habitual Honeys. So if you're interested in joining, I would love to connect with you. It is going to be in the link in the description here. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. It's not as my usual videos, but I hope you found value from it and got inspiration to go out there and read. I promise you, it's going to help you so much with productivity, being your best self, and just honestly getting into your creative, imaginative, and wise version of yourself. So I appreciate you guys so much. I love you. Make sure to subscribe, like, and turn on post notifications because I post videos every single day to be your best self, to develop yourself as a creator and create your dream life. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.